Hello, everybody. Welcome to Blurred's Eye View. Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Chris Fury. Thank you for tuning in Blurred's Eye View, Ohio's nerd threesome you'd actually like. And if you're watching us right now, don't forget to subscribe to us on Twitch and on YouTube. Hit that notification bell and get the latest in geek news. And you can also listen to us anywhere you listen to your podcast, including iHeartRadio. Once again, thank you for tuning in. We have something special for you, so here we go. Check this out. The Contractor, starring Chris Pine, is now in theaters and available on digital and on demand. When a discharged elite special forces sergeant by Chris Pine is desperate to provide for his family, he contracts with a private military force and unravels a deep conspiracy, sending him on the run for his life. Buy or rent The Contractor and watch it today. Rated R from partners at Paramount Pictures. If you would like to win a free digital code of The Contractor, just type in hashtag the truth to win your free digital code, and we'll get that sent right off to you. Own the all-new Scream movie on 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray, starring Neve Campbell, David Arquette, and Courtney Cox. Scream is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Own it today and get killer bonus content, including interviews with the cast, deleted scenes, and much more. Directed by Matt Bettinelli, Open, and Tyler Gillette. Rated R from Paramount Pictures. How can you get your free code, or better yet, how can you get your free physical Blu-ray copy of Scream? Well, just type in "Hello Sydney" for the next time in this show. You can type in "Hello Sydney" for the show. You don't have to say it that way. Just type in "Hello Sydney" during the show, and you can get your free Blu-ray copy sent out to you. Thank you to our partners at Paramount Pictures. And last and finally, you can bring home Jackass Forever today on digital. Johnny Knoxville and the gang are back with new friends and celebrity guest stars for the most hilarious, outrageous pranks and dangerous stunts ever. Grab your friends and get ready to laugh until it hurts. Don't miss a moment of the action. Keep the good times rolling with bonus, never-before-seen stunts, including when you buy on digital. Rated R from our partners at Paramount Pictures. How can you get your free digital code here from us? Free on the house. We'll type in the hashtag WeMan to win your free digital code. And thank you once again from our partners at Paramount Pictures for Jackass Forever, The Contractor, and the physical copy of Scream on 4K Blu-ray. Thank you once again. And with our new guest, Tyler Lutz, martial artist, science teacher, and a massive Power Rangers fan. We want to thank him for coming on. But first,
in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. Imagine that, a future that's super black. Long as your skin brown, your superpowers intact. What would your powers be? Just hope it ain't super whack. Spatial manipulation, create a portal that's black. Maybe just super speed, time travel to run it back. Or cheat manipulation to keep my spirit intact. As I encounter evils the world face, demons the world makes, I needed the world at stake. Rest in peace to Chadwick, they killed all the Black Panthers. Told us white lies, I still marvel at black answers. Suits in DC, pray it lead to a civil war. It ain't no Justice League, what's the need to be civil for? Propelled like the juggernaut, it's clear ain't no stopping this. The world in grave danger, who can stop the apocalypse? They killed all the heroes, the new ones don't really care. But if you need me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black.
Hey everybody, I'm back. Guess what? Guess who else is here with me? It's Candy B.
Hi. Trying to be slick about looking at my phone.
At everybody. What's going on?
What is going on? Hello. Hi. Heidi ho. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. I'm alive.
She's back from Atlanta after being on a binge thing. Didn't do anything bad.
It was so great. My sister owns a restaurant in Atlanta. I am forever talking about it, posting about Little Peach Cobbler. So if you are in the Atlanta area, you need to go check it out because the food is bomb. Everybody in the family can cook, but she's the best cook. So it was a really great trip. I didn't want to come back solely because of the food, to be honest. I'm like, damn. Ugh, Cleveland ain't doing it like that.
Look, I swear to God, every time you put up a picture or a video, and I'm like, why is she doing this? And then she has the nerve. Wait a minute, everybody. She has the nerve to concoct her own dish while she was down there.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
Shrimp and dooley sausage and collard greens.
It was definitely scrimp because once you pass like the Mason-Dixon line, it's scrimp. So I had scrimp
I don't know
with the Solomon because you got to say it with the L so people know that it's like really good. But no, it was a good time.
It's not Simone.
Not Simone. Solomon and scrimp.
Okay.
And grits. No, but it was a good time. So I'm happy to be back safe and everything. But I definitely enjoyed myself.
Well, I don't want to keep our guest waiting because he's a very dope individual. He's coming to Texas. He's a middle school science teacher. He's a martial artist. He's a massive Power Rangers fan. And the things that he's doing with all of those gifts and how he's teaching the next generation is dope. This is Tyler Lutz. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
So it is really dope. You know what? Tell people, you know what? I would normally read this stuff, but tell the people what it is you're about, what it is that you do.
Yeah, so I guess the short version of the long story is my motto in life is just work hard and be kind to people. Work hard and be nice. That's what it is. I mean, I tell my friends that, I tell my family that, I tell my students that in the dojo, in the classroom. That's really what it's about. Work hard and be nice.
We're not worthy already. I feel like I'm finishing this interview. I feel like I need to leave.
Oh my Jesus. So, there's a lot that you've done. But before we get into what you've done, let's get into some of the blurred news. So
I love how intense it was. Wildly intense for no reason.
Jeez. So E3 has been canceled again this year. They've canceled their physical convention as well as digital. And one of the reasons for canceling the physical is because obviously they're still worried about COVID concerns and everything else and the pandemic and everything. So with that being said, it's kind of hard to wonder, like they said they have something better coming for next year, but I don't know. Do you think it's a little too late?
I don't know. People are acting weird because they're going in and out of like caring. Like take these music festivals, for instance. I've noticed ones that maybe aren't as packed are super packed now. That would be the smaller ones. But then you have stuff that people normally go to like crazy where they're just like, meh, I think I'm passing on Coachella. And that's Coachella. And you have huge artists in Coachella just deciding I'm just not going to perform. Shout out to Kanye. So I think it's going to be hit or miss. I think since we said we're going to hit like the con scene and just see what's out there this year, I guess we'll see how many people are caring, but I don't know what could be, what's going to be bigger than what they already do,
See, and that's what's weird to me, because they say they're revamping and they're coming back stronger next year for 2023. Tyler, what do you think?
Man, I think it's so hit or miss with any type of public gathering in a venue like that, man. I mean, everybody has their opinion on what's safe and what's not safe. I think you got to do you. At some point, I think it should be up to the consumer. I think everything kind of needs to, at least in Texas here, most things are back open. No one's really telling you what to do as far as like masks or where to go or anything. It's just like, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want, don't. So
what part of Texas you at?
I'm in Austin right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got some friends all around that area, and they basically said Texas has been its own continent when it comes to this whole pandemic. It's just been doing them.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's something crazy. You know, you good, DC?
Huh?
Oh, I was gonna ask you, what did you think? I was just wondering if you could, because I seen you getting your gear together.
Yeah, came in late. My bad. They had held me late at work because it's been a good week for me. So it's like you got to do something to knock you down a little bit. No, but as far as E3, what happened was the pandemic shut it down, and then everybody started opening their own kind of things. Like Microsoft held their own event, Sony started doing their own event. Then you had like Bethesda just got bought out by Microsoft, started doing their own thing. So everybody was like, why wait for E3? We can just host our own thing, cut the middleman out, and get people what they want a lot faster. So that's why E3
That's
is part
another
of it,
question.
because nobody is really going. Like everybody's like, well, we're gonna do our own thing, because what's the point of coming to y'all when now social media has made it to where we can just reach the people where they at, and I ain't got to pay you $100 at the table and stuff like that.
Especially if they don't have to travel. If you're in some place where they're going to do it close enough.
It cuts down on the travel, the overhead, and then they can take a little more time to build out the games, because they ain't got to rush till June. They can do their own thing in July when the game is fully fleshed out, as opposed to trying to rush. Because E3 was like June 23rd, like the 24th through that weekend, so everybody was trying to rush to get their games together, and some of them wasn't ready, and you could tell by the way they came out in the poor receiving. But now game companies get a chance to actually take their time, breathe. They ain't got to go nowhere, so the travel is light. They can just do their own thing and just really have a whole week dedicated to just them, as opposed to sharing the stage with Sony, Microsoft, and all these other companies. So it gives you a little one-on-one now.
Yeah. I think that DC said it's taking it a little bit to the point where it's hit or miss. Like Tyler said it. It's hit or miss now. We've seen a rash of games get consistently back, and some of them, like Cyberpunk 2077, kind of fell flat on its face. Due to it, still having glitches, still having bugs, not really kind of performing. I think the only one that's kind of really outperforming right now is Elden Ring. They kind of are making their way right now. It's probably the most complete game they got out there. You still have problems with the Avengers. You still have a lot of problems with some of the other game systems not being able to, I don't know, meet the mark. I don't know. So I don't know what E3 says they actually have planned for the following year, or how they can even. I don't see how they can pull it off. I really don't.
I think if you keep waiting, what DC's saying is going to just get bigger with these smaller businesses and local people that decide, I'm just going to do my own thing. And I think people are craving that kind of intimate local experience now, or at least something they can drive a couple hours to, rather than flying, hotel. All that shit is daunting. And then people's pockets are still burnt out. So it's like,
still going.
Right.
In other news, WrestleMania 38 kicked off this past weekend, and they did something a little different. They, instead of one day, they went 2 days. Triple H opened it up. As everybody know, as you said. What'd you say, D?
No, they've been trying to do this 2-weekend pay-per-view thing for a while now, because you got AEW coming in the game, so they taking over. So they really trying to stretch that power out market, and really trying to tap into the pockets. Which, I mean, I guess it's a smart idea, because instead of doing it one on Sunday, you can get 5 matches on Saturday, 5 on Sunday, as opposed to trying to smack 10 into one whole show. So it stretches it out, gives the people a little more to do.
Yeah, here's some without the sound, of course. Triple H stepping into the ring. He's retiring due to some heart conditions, and pretty heartfelt. To see the big man step down, but it was for a worthy situation. He left his boots in the ring along with the microphone, which is kind of a nice touch to kind of leaving your mark. it was pretty eventful, for the most part. You had a couple pretty good matches going on. Which one was that?
Right.
Yeah, some of them were, but
I
like
just give it out
the
some. Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch match to me was probably the best match of the whole Saturday night. That's just me.
here's
I like
a
Bianca Belair and
here's
Black
your
Women winning championship, and the way she came out with
right.
that fucking TSU band, woo, killed them.
I think that's something that we really don't get to see too much of, and knowing that this is something we can really get used to. Seeing a lot more. It's actually a lot more female wrestlers, not just in WWE, but in AEW and NXT and all of them. Really, they're really starting to step up into their own, and it's kind of helping. To find out that they are really doing good. Cody Rhodes makes a return. Let's fill that out. Yeah, Cody Rhodes made his return. Show it up. There we go. Yeah, he makes his return, and after leaving WWE to go start AEW, help start AEW because he didn't like where his character was going, to not really having a contract with AEW, or I'm sorry, with AEW, and apparently working out a deal with Vince and the team and coming back. It's a nice touch, I guess. He was all dramatic. We had Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns match, which Roman Reigns sustained a pretty good injury due to the lock that Brock had on his shoulder, and it showed because he is now what's that because he's supposed to show up on SmackDown this Friday. So
he just showed up on Monday.
I don't know. I was watching it last night. He showed up on Monday, like the last 10-15 minutes.
He's undefeated
coming
champ
out with
of
Paul
WWE
Heyman.
pretty much. Again,
He's been running it for the past year now. He's been running it.
Well, no, they keep flip flopping. We're gonna have one champ, then we're gonna have two champs. Now we got one champ, and in 2 years we'll have two champs.
Yeah,
it's a revolving door.
It is a revolving door. But what do you see?
WWE. Well, the WWE has this problem where they get complacent, and then they try to do something drastic, and then if that don't work, they'll do something even more drastic, and then if that don't work, they'll drag out like 4 old ass wrestlers with bad knees and try to prop them up. And Edge, Goldberg.
Yeah, it's some of the highlights. That's where the Johnny Knoxville,
the
Johnny Knoxville one is such a
it's a
cliche match.
And repeat with them.
It is. That's been something that's been going on a lot lately, I think, with WWE, and I think they've been trying to change that image, but I don't know how well it's received at this point.
Then you got AEW, who is the new kids on the block, but they got a lot of talent. Jade Cargill.
They do.
They got a lot of talent from WWE, so it's I could talk about the Cargill. Let's move on.
Yeah.
It was all right. Propping it up like it was the granddaddy of them all. It ain't been that for a while. I mean, they had some decent matches. You got to see a lot of black women get their shine on. Sasha Banks and Naomi are the tag team champions. Like I said, Bianca Belair stole the show. Bobby Lashley and Omos had a good match. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar was predictable because I already knew Roman Reigns was going to win because he's making them too much money right now. They built a whole channel just for him.
Yeah. Well, he said $1 billion machine at this point.
Yeah,
they're right.
Peacock is his. Like, SmackDown is his. Fox is his. Like, they just put a blank check in front of him. Like, please just show up because his character is killing it right now.
So here was when I was actually.
Oh my bad, I forgot they propped up Stone Cold's old ass with them bad stunners, man. It was Botch City there.
Why you doing a boy like that?
Because
it was entertaining though.
Slow as shit. Like you could have moved out the way and stepped back, and he still hadn't done it yet.
He had some stuff. No, is it his
right.
old stunners, or is it the way the way the opponent sells?
It's the
Is
delivery.
Is it the delivery?
That ain't the old Stone Cold, man.
What about the overselling of the stunner?
Yeah, that's getting old too now. Nobody sold it like The Rock, and now everybody trying it. But I mean, it was good.
Everybody has been selling it though.
I know. I didn't watch any of this. Did you watch this, PT?
Yeah, I watched part of it. You know,
I didn't get a chance to watch. I just watched some of the highlights the day after. But
okay, are you like a wrestling fan?
I used to be. After the Attitude Era, I kind of.
Amen.
I kind of bowed out a little bit.
Fell out like the rest of us.
You ain't missing much.
Who is? I want to pick your brain some more because we're the ones kind of quiet over here. Who's your favorite?
Back then, I was always a Dwayne guy.
He said Dwayne. You gonna put a government?
I love me some DJ.
Y'all like this? Y'all like this?
Yeah.
I knew him as The Rock, but you know.
Yeah,
you have a connection. I respect the connection.
Well, do y'all remember like when he kind of branched off into Hollywood? Mm-hmm. I think his first movie was The Scorpion King. Like,
that's what I thought. I think it is too.
And his name on there in the title, like in the credits, was The Rock. And then like he made this whole big deal about coming out and saying, I don't want to be known as The Rock anymore. Yeah. I want to be called Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So I was like, okay. From afar.
You wrote that down that day.
let me take notes.
Right away, sir.
Fuck that. He's still The Rock. I don't care what he says. But no, The Rock.
I think
that whole time frame, like that was the golden age of wrestling. Like if you were young and you were growing up, you had like Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H. You had Kurt Angle come on the scene, a young Edge and Chris Jericho. Mankind, those bad body built ass was out there too. It was a lot. It was beautiful, and now it's more gimmick than it is substance. I still watch every now and then because my son even got out of it, so now I'm just alone in it. But
yeah, I fell out around the same time you said you did. I know some of the people because I got my kid into it as he started watching a little bit. So I was like, well, I know who John Cena and those little people are. But even after that, I was like, I am so out of touch. Like I only know because of pictures. So I'll pay attention to the women. But I'm like, these guys, I'm like, I don't know who any of you guys are. Not the newer ones. But I think they probably know that in that business. That's why they bring all our people back from the dead because
Speaking of which, it was Undertaker's last time in the ring. He said his goodbyes. He's in the Hall of Fame. Yes, he is the man.
Mark Calloway.
How do you say? I've never seen a dead man cry. I never seen a dead man cry, and that's what he did. And I didn't know. I forgot he had all those outfits too. He had like 4 or 5 outfits. Walked out in his duster.
With all the outfits, extra.
Yeah, he. I'm like, good Lord. I'm like, they was all propped up around him. Yeah, he put on his duster, which was probably his favorite one. He put on his duster and his hat, and said, "Never said never, never say never," and walked out the ring. I'm like, all right.
Now, what else we got in blurred news before we start bombarding? Mr.
Well, that's
Lutz,
it for right now because I want to give this shine to Mr. Lutz or Mr. Lutz here. I want to give the shine to him because you are. Once I said it earlier, you are a science middle school teacher, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and a martial artist, as well as a Power Rangers fan. Now, let's talk about how all of this incorporates into you teaching the next generation. How did you get into? I think you got into Power Rangers like all of us got into Power Rangers. So how did this work out for you?
So all the way back to '93 when Power Rangers first kind of came on the scene. I like to tell people that my Power Rangers journey was kind of like my social journey. I started off as a dreamer, and then I became a worker. And then eventually I grew into a leader. as a kid, like we all did, we watched it on TV. And I used to see some of the action both in and out of costume and think, man, that is so cool. Like, I want to do that someday. Maybe not in the same capacity on TV, but how cool would it be to be admired and respected in the same way that those 5, eventually 6 teenagers with attitude were? Yeah, I grew up in a teacher's household. Both my parents were teachers, so it was kind of my destiny. I was bullied quite a bit in elementary school. I was, what they call a try-hard. I kind of just walked around the halls with my head down. I dressed a certain way that kind of got me a lot of negative attention, got picked on quite a bit. And just, overall, I was viewed in a negative light because I was quiet and shy, a little socially anxious, made good grades, just a real studious nerd type kid. And eventually a few things happened where I just decided, I don't want to be this kid anymore. I kind of want to take control of the situation here. And it's the same thing that I always tell my students in martial arts. I tell them, you train in martial arts not to beat people up, not to hurt people, but to be the one in control of a dangerous situation, should it ever happen. Right. And that's kind of what got me into it back in middle school, like late elementary school, early middle school. I just kind of wanted to take control of the situation that I was experiencing every day, kind of being the target of a lot of negative attention. And that's kind of where it started for me.
That's dope. So you've taken this now. This is also the birth of you starting martial arts? When did you start doing martial arts?
So I started boxing when I was 11. So I just turned 33. So I've been at it for about 22 years now. That was the first thing that I started doing was boxing. I think, from the waist up, it's the easiest form of martial arts to learn if you have no experience in that field. I fell in love with it. I started playing sports, and that's kind of where I started becoming a worker. And then the attention started changing, right? I started getting positive attention from guys and positive attention from girls. And that was new for me. But that's kind of what led me into it. When I started getting that positive attention, I was like, okay, maybe this is what it's about. Maybe this is what I need to keep doing. And as weird as it sounds, I explored more martial arts in the beginning just so that people would respect me, not because I liked it, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah,
it does. And everything you shared, it makes sense. I'm going to, in between Chris's questions, going to interject a little bit because I know I'm on limited time, but I'm going to be all up in your business a little bit. Yeah. When, if ever, when's the last time you maybe felt like you were going to lose your cool, or have you ever lost your cool where you're like, you know what, I could really just rock somebody's shit right now. Y'all don't know who you messing with. Do you ever get that feeling, or are you in just control? I think he froze.
It looks like he did. Did he freeze? Yeah, he froze.
That was him.
Not being in control.
It's a method.
It seems that his martial arts training has literally made him almost like Drax, where
look, eyes open.
The stillness.
You won't even know I'm here.
You won't even know I'm here. I know. He'll be back. They all come
It was
back.
his glitch. Yeah, he'll be back.
I know. Shout out to all my subjects of Ymir, because we're gonna give a shout out to Attack on Titan. Part 1 of the final season has just ended, and it's been amazing. So anybody that's into that, if you ever want to chop it up with me, go ahead and find me on IG. It's at Candy B Cosplay, so we can talk about how stressed out this whole series has had us. It's been so intense. And the biggest debate now is is Eren Yeager wrong for basically going about destroying the whole world. And yeah, anybody that's watched it, I'm like, is he? Because he grew up kind of rough, but then I feel like I'm making excuses for a psychopath. So I'm like,
oh my god, it's been a stressful week for the fellas. I don't get it.
Yeah,
it's always been something with you.
A stressful life for him. So I'm always down to debate whether he's right or wrong, but that's probably what makes it one of the best animes I've watched in a minute. It really makes you think like, yo, if I grew up like this and from jump, I see my mom killed in front of me and everybody that I thought I could trust, I couldn't trust. And I can just have my people to the side and say, hey, I'm going to look out for you guys. Everybody else has to go.
It does not seem like bad logic.
I'm like, is he wrong? I don't know.
Considering everything he's done.
I was like, I don't want to read ahead and ruin it because my son's like, hey, I could tell you what's going on. I was like, oh, don't tell me because I already know you read ahead. I'm like, I'll wait the year. They already told us, like, get ready in 2023. It seems like nowadays you're a fan of any show, they're going to give you your full season or half a season. Then you're going to be waiting 3 to 5 business years to get it, to get the rest. And we just wait. Someone was like, why do you think they do that? Because we're waiting. We complain the whole time.
They know people gonna fucking wait.
Listen,
no,
we gonna wait and we gonna break the records.
Here's the problem: they give you that weird ass cliffhanger and make you wait 6 years for it.
When we wait, and then we break all the records when it comes back, and they're like, "Oh, The Witcher had 6.2 billion views." I know it did because we had
been like 6 months to a year for that. I just see
waiting a long time for
it does do that. A lot of animes make you do this long wait. This huge fucking wait for a lot of it do. It puts you on edge. I'm sorry. It puts you on complete edge when it comes to any kind of anime.
And then I think there was I only experienced that when they had like a brief like writer strike. I don't know when that happened in the sitcom world and stuff. It was a writer strike, so a lot of people's shows was fucked up.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, what's going on with our shows? So that was messing up a lot of stuff, but I had never experienced with my anime.
You mean like when Heroes was on air and
yeah, like because that was the last biggest one that I remember, and it was like a lot of shows kind of got left all over the place, and then when they came back. Season finales was weird as fuck because you got people that wasn't writing on shows.
Hey, how you come back from
you had people like Walt who was on Lost.
Like, you weren't on this project when we started in '94. It's like I'm an intern. Right. I was just hired.
I've been in the background the whole time, you know.
I don't know what's going on.
Like the one kid Walt from Lost. He went through a whole growth spurt. It was insane.
That's what happened to Judy Winslow, the writer's strike. He went upstairs and they wrote him go upstairs and forgot to write back in the show.
Never came back.
Like stuff went down and like speaking of which, you know what's her name? Mary Jo Payton, who plays the mother. Yeah, she said she would love to do like either a reboot or a continuation of Family Matters, but she said they got to bring her back. Like, you got to bring back my baby. She was like, she was on stage. She was like, it was her and Richard Vale Johnson, and he was like, you need to bring back my baby, because what mother would not ask about where's her child at? Like, y'all didn't say where she went. She just
listen, and all of us in the 90s didn't care.
Didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
didn't care.
Nobody thought about it. Missing child, and nobody even batted an eyelash.
Didn't care. Because the way they set up Urkel, he was supposed to be like Spike and Buffy, where you're kind of like a one season and done. We're going to keep it moving. And then you end up taking over the show. So we ain't got time for the rest. Nobody else.
We ain't got time for Lutz.
I heard Belair on Bel Air. They talking about replacing the Aunt Viv already.
Oh, well, they joked. There was somebody that did a perfect April Fool's joke where they had a picture of Paula Patton. And
my bad. I fell for it.
It was a picture of Paula Patton and the girl that plays.
I was like, damn, light skin win it again.
Yeah. I was like, if they did that, that would be very on brand. But if anybody is watching Bel Air, thinking about it, Bel Air is actually really fucking amazing. I'm very surprised with how much I'm loving it. So that is a good one if you're trying to support.
Carlton a thug.
Listen,
if you hated Carlton, if you thought you hated Carlton before,
Jeffrey is a G. Jeffrey's like James Bond.
Jeffrey was a G before though.
Oh no! This is
true.
Level. Because
But
Jeffrey
this
was
time,
a G
he's
and
the
humble
man.
about his G. No, he was humble about his G.
So
this nigga right here,
to the wall.
new one is on it. The suit be popping. This Jeffrey, see, old Jeffrey worked for them. This Jeffrey works with them. It's a difference.
Yeah,
it's a difference of how they write them.
I'll put you like this. There's a scene where Uncle Phil having it's a soiree, it's some kind of party, and Uncle Phil is there and he's talking to some new guy, and he's not. You can tell Uncle Phil's not really feeling where this dude is coming from. He's trying to gauge him. He ain't trusting, right? So he he's like, nice to meet you, and he leaves. And as he walks off, before Uncle Phil asks him, he says, "I want you to find out about him." And Jeffrey says, "I'm already on it." Like he already got people.
I said it twice because he was already on a guy, and then he said, "Yeah, I need you to look at him too." He's like, "I was already doing it." I'm like, "Damn." So
like,
it's really
like this dude, like what is like MI6 or something? Like this dude is like,
but he'll just disappear. He wears suits as nice as Uncle Phil. And Uncle Phil's a politician, and he in these streets looking all like, bomb in his custom. And Jeffrey is probably the best dressed person on the show, but you're the butler. It's amazing. They're doing a really good job.
Actually, what they call him, the house. He's the house manager. He ain't the butler. He's the house manager. That's what they call him.
He's not. I'm like,
he's the house manager.
Butler.
I ain't think I was gonna like it. And I liked it a lot better than what I thought I would. So I hope they continue with these seasons.
It's you won't be disappointed. See, I think what it was, everybody was trying to get they just knew it was going to be like, oh, they're rebooting it? Oh, that's not cool. And then like they thinking it was going to be jokey, funny. I thought it was
going to be corny because that Saved by the Bell was corny.
There he is. Tyler's back.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, he's back. Tyler Lutz is back. So where did you Candy, you were asking?
Oh, I was just asking if you've ever had a moment where you felt like, or you actually did lose your cool, like in a physical altercation or anything like that.
Do you mean leading up to one or after
leading up
it had already begun?
Leading up to one or after, just anywhere in that kind of energy, because you seem so centered and zen-like. But I'm like, has there been a moment where you're like, y'all got me messed up? I'm just curious.
Yeah. So as silly as it sounds, all the way back in 4th grade, before I started martial arts, what was like the catalyst for me, of course, there was a girl involved. I don't even know if you can call it dating when you're a 4th grader, when you're 9 years old.
It was intense.
Going steady.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah,
going steady.
Notes and all.
Yeah, there was like some verbal sparring going on between me and another my 4th grade rival. And I was actually the one who started this. I initiated it and said, "Hey, like, basically, stay away from my girl, or else we have problems."
Okay.
And he was like, "Okay, well, I want some problems. So where should we have some problems?" And so you know what we did. We met up at a spot. I used to walk to the middle school that my mom worked at. It was about a mile away from where I went to elementary, and I made the mistake of walking alone, and he took full advantage of that and showed up with his boys and handled my business. So but after that, that was the day where I was like, if I ever get into another altercation again, I don't ever want to be the one on the bottom ever again. And I for sure was the one on the bottom. Even though I didn't have the numbers, it was bad, and I'm never gonna forget it. And I learned 2 lessons that day. The first one was be prepared to defend yourself when danger confronts you, and keep your mouth shut.
All right.
Those are the lessons I had to learn.
I feel like you missed a lesson, because if you can take a stumping from 5 people, you don't touch it. Like, I don't think people realize you get monkey stumped the right way, it'll make you a better person. It turns you into a killing machine, but you ain't got to.
Not a killing machine.
You know, like it turned you like you took a good beating and you lived to tell the story.
That was his anti-hero origin story.
Yeah, that was your moment where you.
That was your unbreakable moment.
It was that turning point that turned you into the Green Ranger.
It was that day.
It's funny. The Green Ranger is actually one of my instructors now, Hanshi Jason David Frank.
It's amazing you mentioned that, because I seen one of your videos when he was teaching you about the nunchakus and how you're holding them and how to, and I'm like, oh, he's getting lessons from Tommy Alva.
From the
yeah,
and it's dope. Ever lived.
Did you see there was one that he did for me on my birthday recently, where he was teaching me. He was I actually asked him, there's a technique called the gunting technique, and he's on there like in a hotel room at night. I think it's like the second or third of my most recent posts on Instagram. But yeah, he was going through the whole flow, the trapping hands and everything. And I was like, man, this is so cool getting lessons on camera from the OG.
Tell him when you next time talk to him, tell him he gave us the most stressful week of our lives.
That was the longest week in history, man.
It was. So his first appearance, and he shows up in Angel Grove, and he's like, he's taking Jason's girl. Or
you stupid! You stupid!
Yo,
that was a long week. I don't know about y'all.
That was the longest
week of my life.
Like, you don't.
I feel
that long. And at the same time, I can respect it, because I've never seen anybody else jump into somebody else's ride, kick everybody out, and still whoop their behind.
Now, PTSD is the fact that he slapped Kimberly with her helmet on, like, and her body spun. I don't know if he was holding back punches like Spider-Man be doing or what's going on, but I'm like, that was wild. When you watch it, and when you're older, because my son got really into it, he watched like every different version of Power Rangers. I was like, I'm just going to stop after the first movie. You can keep going if you want. He stuck with it. And I jump in every once in a while because there'd still be some dope cameos coming from the original cast, which I thought was really cool. But I'm also like, this is an insane show. And we were just fine with it being the same formula over and over again. Like,
it's still
and it was so simple. And we loved it.
And it's still going.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's still going. It's still going.
Are they dinosaurs now? Or are they back in space?
No, it's Dino Thunder. I think it's Dino Thunder or Dino Fury.
I think it's Dino Thunder was both of them been done before. I think
they're doing another one. It's another version. Yeah, they went back to
I guess make your money.
So Tyler, it's safe to say that the OG team is probably your favorite, correct?
The OGs for life.
Okay. So if you had to pick a different Power Rangers team, and I'm going to give you the options, would it be Power Rangers Galaxy, Power Rangers Time Force, or the Alien Rangers?
Not that one.
Okay.
He said no. Not that.
Not the Alien Rangers.
Talking about them butt face looking ones.
Yeah, their weaknesses was dehydration of all things.
What is like Time Force sounds cool. I'll be honest, I haven't seen a single episode of anything other than Mighty Morphin. But Time Force looks like they got some sweet gear.
They were good. Time Force was good. Galaxy was actually not bad.
Your ass Power Rangers.
I picked the team.
You know how you go to the Dollar Tree and you get them fake ass toys? That's what they look like.
The Dollar.
It's like the knockoff Rangers that you buy at Five Below. It's like 6 of them in a pack.
It looks like.
Did you say Five Below? Yeah. Oh my god!
Why did Green Ranger look like he got like an electrician outfit on? Like he worked.
Is that Chad Ochocinco?
It's definitely looking like Cinco and Terry Crews had a baby.
That look like Tad Johnson.
Oh my god.
I think that is Ocho Cinco.
Tad Johnson out here doing it all, man. Tell me that one Tad Johnson.
Hey, you
Put
gotta
that
get
picture
that
back up one more
paycheck.
time.
Sometimes you got to get
This
your
is the
Snoop
hero
Dogg on. You
Tyrese.
got to take the check.
Man, that's Tad Johnson, man. I don't give a damn what nobody says. That's Sweet G.
Oh my god. So you said you pretty much watched just Morphin, Mighty Morphin original. I was going to ask you, what was your, out of all of the series that they've ran so far anyway, what was your best one? But you just watched Mighty Morphin, correct? Just Mighty Morphin, right? Okay, because I know they've had one like this was a pretty dope episode where they've had every
The multiverse.
iteration. Yeah, pretty much the multiverse.
I seen that one.
And there's another. Yeah, this was a dope one, and it was the one where all the Red Rangers go up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have y'all seen Forever Red? I have seen Forever Red.
That sounds amazing.
Forever Red was dope. Forever Red was dope because that's what Forever Red makes you like.
They had a whole series of like
that's when
mini
Jason came back. Yeah,
like it was a series or a movie.
What's crazy about that episode?
It was on the
Austin,
show.
Okay.
Austin St. John, he was actually in my classroom as a guest speaker a couple of weeks before that episode was shot. He was real discreet about it because I was asking him in between classes. I was like, "What do you got going on? What's your project schedule?" And he was like, "Oh, I got a little something. I've been trying to lose some weight. I've been cutting down." And I was like, well, what does that mean? What's a little something? Like, y'all doing a series or another movie or what?
Yes, you better get that scoop.
And he was like, I can't say anything right now. But then sure enough, I saw Forever Red and I was like,
motherfucker.
Great episode.
It was. Forever Red was dope. Forever Red in the we call it me and DC call it the multiverse episode, but it was
It really was, because it was like Power Rangers, like obscure ass Power Rangers from like the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010. Like they showed up.
Hey, they started
who's all showing up?
Just walked out
like
the
who's
woods
all going to
and
show up?
started
Who
whooping
isn't?
ass.
So, do you watch any of the fan films that people make, like Power Rangers Unworthy, Combat in the Grid? It's another one. They make a lot of fan films. As a matter of fact, I know your teacher, Jason David Frank, is actually filming Legend of the White Dragon, which is not a Power Rangers movie, but it does star Power Rangers, people who've played Power Rangers.
Yeah,
it's actually a dope
pumped for that.
trailer.
I cannot wait to see that.
So it's they have a lot going on. They have a lot going on. And Jason David Frank, he stays. I've seen him in person, and I seen him it was in Columbus. It was in Columbus, and this is obviously before the pandemic. And I've never seen anybody command a crowd like that. And it just had me, I'm like, he got up on the table because he's signing autographs and stuff, but he got up on the table and he had his dragon sword and he did the whole nine, and just the crowd went nuts. And I was just like, oh wow, they're really into it. They're like, you can tell.
Yeah, there's very few people that when I get around them in person, I get like butterflies. I get nervous. Mm-hmm. Like almost like I don't want to say scared, but just like, you know what I mean? The feel like the feeling you would have if you got around like Dwayne Johnson or Chuck Norris, just legends in cinema. And the two people that no matter how much time I spend around them, Jason David Frank and Austin St. John, like there's just something about their presence, the way they carry themselves, where I'm just like, man, I'm glad that you're in a good mood when you're around me, because I would not want to see your bad side.
Here's some of the pictures I've done that you sent me, and some of the people you've met in DC. That very last one, I'm just like, I am so jealous.
Well,
yeah, there's old Jason David Frank. Cool dude.
Just to say, Tommy Oliver's your Hansi is just. That's a flex. That's what it is. That's a whole flex. So but it's dope.
I really like that he still
What's
embraced
next
it.
for you? Yeah, Walter Jones. So what's next for Tyler Lutz?
Well, I just moved to Austin this year. I had been teaching in the Dallas area, and I just took a job out here. Something opened up last minute, and it was kind of like my dream job. So I packed up and moved to Austin in a period of 2 weeks. And yeah, I love Karen Ashley.
Oh, you son of a...
Yes.
So nice. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted there.
It's when it's Karen Ashley, it's very easy for you. We don't blame you.
Hey, Karen. The only Karen I like.
Oh my goodness, shut up. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so to answer your question, Chris, for me, what's next? This new campus that I'm at, I love working for the principal that I have now. He's very creative, but also he doesn't micromanage. He comes in and he says, "Hey, Lutz, this is what I need from you. This is what I need you to do. But you're the teacher. I'm not the expert in the classroom, so I'm going to get out of your way and let you do your thing." It's so nice to have a leader like that who lets me be creative in the classroom and also who lets me take risks. And one risk I'm going to take next year is starting a martial arts class as an elective in the school. So yeah, that's like, you know, for kids who are in band, they have their thing, the artists, the theater people, the athletes, but there's never really been a class specifically dedicated to somebody who is already in martial arts or who has always thought about it but been hesitant for whatever reason. So I want to give that opportunity to kids who are in martial arts already, but also kids who have thought about doing it but have hesitated for one reason or another, and just kind of open it to everybody. So I'm excited for that next year.
That sounds cool as hell.
So,
well, he's going to keep going. I know I got to roll. I will stalk you on social media. I believe I followed you as soon as he reposted that he was doing an interview. I love a guest that actually reposts that they're going to be on the show. Amen. You boys,
we love that.
Be good. I'll talk to everybody.
All right,
so Tyler, I know you said you've worked with is it the entire cast or just certain cast mates from the show? And in what capacity besides obviously being trained by Jason Dave Frank?
So the two that I've actually done the most with would be Austin St. John and Karen Ashley. Austin, I got involved with a few years ago. I kind of just blew up his inbox until he answered me. But yeah, I mean,
take notes.
Yeah. But yeah, so I started working with him by asking him via email, is there any way you could come out to my campus and speak to my kids? Because I worked in a Title I environment, a lot of economically disadvantaged kids. Most of the kids that I worked with were Hispanic or African-American students who just were either all in as far as being involved in something or all out and just didn't want to be in school. They were just there to exist because they had to, right? So I reached out to Austin and asked him to come and kind of give the kids a shot in the arm. And he was like, yeah, for sure. Let me check my schedule and let's make it happen, because he's local in Dallas as well. And then the same was true for Karen.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the same was true for Karen. I kind of just reached out to her, and she actually did a Google Meets call with my kids during the pandemic. She did her appearance in my classroom on camera, and come to find out through the grapevine, their appearance manager is actually the stepbrother of one of my younger brother's ex-girlfriends in high school. So it was like
So
a
it's
weird
a connection.
Yeah, it was like a weird random Power Rangers connection from my family to theirs, and it kind of just worked out like that.
Huh. DC got the same look, and I got the same thought. Reach out to
I
Karen
was
Ashley.
sorry.
Okay.
My bad. I don't think we were on the same page. We just had similar looks. Mine was more just, my bad.
So you're starting a new job in Austin, Texas, correct?
Yes.
Employing a new elective for martial arts. That's dope. And it just reminds me of some of those movies we used to see like in the 80s and 90s, where you always have that kid who, like you said, wasn't all in because he had no focus. And this allowed him to have that focus. So he has something to kind of draw that out, and it makes him do better in other areas of his life for that duration and hopefully for the future. So that's dope. You working and having these connections to our childhood basically is amazing. And we thank you so much for coming on, man. Like, I wish you but the best of luck. Got home here, doors always open. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram. My handle is @Lutz Universe. Yep, there it is. Instagram is kind of my bread and butter. That's what I use most often. I do have Facebook. I use my first name on Facebook. You can just search up Tyler Lutz on Facebook. I don't use it as often as Instagram. So yeah, if you really need to get at me, Instagram is the fastest way to do so.
Right. DC. Since Candy B stepped out. Talk to him.
Where to begin, man? Been a hell of a 2
big
weeks.
Moves.
Trying to be humble about everything, but I'm at the point to where I feel like if I don't let some of this energy out, I'm gonna explode. So I just need to say to the people who thought what the shit wasn't gonna make it, we on the internet radio, baby. We signed a deal. We out here. We started Monday. So Mondays, we're actually on 2 days, Mondays and Thursdays. You get to hear us throughout your day. If you go to opulenceradio.com, or if you have Alexa or Google Assistant, you download the skill and play. You just say, hey, Google, play Opulence Radio. Hey, Alexa, play Opulence Radio. And guess what? Boom, here we are. Also, we have something else in the works. I need to actually get on that tonight so I can get that going. Tomorrow night we have Suicide Holler, Prentice Johnson. We're going to be talking about music and prison reform. We'll be live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We have 2 movies to give away. One going to be on during the show. The other's going to be during IG Live. So you got a chance to win 1 or 2 movie nights on us. So that's that. I just want to say what's up to my 3rd grade teacher, Nagiano. Yeah, bitch, you thought I wasn't going to make it. Here I am. I'm about to be out here everywhere. I just need you to know that pep talk that you gave me when you said, Darius, nobody likes you. You were wrong, motherfucker. Everybody likes me and they love me because I have a winning personality. You can kiss my ass. You were a horrible teacher. Your breath smelled like little men walked outside, stepped in some motherfucking shit and walked on your tongue.
Wait. What was this? What's the head
going
bomb?
outside to step in? Yeah, that's some stepping in shit.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Oh,
shout
my
out to
God.
her. No, but it's just a blessing to and we top 10 for the 2nd week on Good Pods. We was at number 3. We holding steady at 10. I'll take it because out of 100 podcasts, we're number 10. So independently, we out here doing our thing.
And please check out, what's it, episode 50, the Father's Day episode?
Oh, yeah. The Father's Day episode has been one of the best episodes just because of the way everything went down in this episode. If you haven't seen the video, please check out the video. It is well worth your money. It's a great group of guys who I've grown up with. I've always wanted to get a chance to people I've grown up with, give them a chance to come on and just talk, and get some exposure, not because they need it, just because I feel like, I want to give back to people. Big on showcasing talents and all that. So I had a chance to have some guys that I grew up with, all fathers, just sit down and shoot the breeze and talk about being a father, some of the shitty gifts that the kids give them. Kids, stop doing the
and eating cold fries.
The elbow macaroni glue thing. That is 2022. That and socks is the worst gifts ever. Unless you like socks.
It's inflation out here. The macaroni costs money now.
Yeah, don't do that. You need to eat macaroni.
Right.
No, but yeah, I gotta say thank you to everybody who's stuck with the show from the beginning till now, who's grown with us as we've grown. I've learned a lot doing this. I was unprofessional, uncouth, just an asshole with a tip in my tongue. Now I'm kind of, I wouldn't say doing my own deals or, what I'm saying, but I'm out here doing things that somebody who's been in the game 2 years probably ain't doing. And that's just being honest. That's not me being, trying to brag or anything. It's just, I've learned a lot by failing and almost quitting so many times that I can't remember that if I quit, somebody else, just gonna take that spot. And it's not a spot I want to give up, but it ain't just that. I have a lot of people that, like what we do, and they feel like listening to us helps their day. It gives them job. So to me, that means a lot. And I will forever be grateful that they allowed us to help change them or help make their day better. I wouldn't say change it. I don't change it. At least not like we are. Well, more me than but
we could be a little bit roguish, and I'm using that term lightly.
Yeah, I don't want to be Joe Rogan. But no, I enjoy what I do. I've lost a lot of sleep doing it, lost a lot of time and gained a lot of knowledge, but it's something that I would never not be grateful doing. If I'm in a position right now, by the end of this year, it's gonna be amazing. Just gotta get to that. That's it, man. Shout out to Opulus Radio. I think our show is becoming the flagship of that station right now.
Because it's Monday and Thursdays right now.
We're the only show on that network with 2 nights. It feels good. Be heard all day. Like I listened Monday and I just kept hearing us. There was, a couple shows in between us, kind of break up, you know what I'm saying? So people wouldn't get tired of my annoying ass voice and me talking shit to them. But, man, it just feels good to be played 2 days and have a slot dedicated. Yeah, shout out to Opulus Radio. Shout out to Armand. She's a savvy businesswoman. Me and her have had some great conversations. Trying to help the station grow because it started as a station in Africa and now she's trying to do the American version of it. So we're really starting on the ground up with her. So as they grow and we grow, they grow as well.
All right.
I think that's it. I've been talking for a while because I think I missed.
Well, besides what the shit happened movie nights, we also got movie nights. We have 3 movie nights. So here they are. Check them out. The Contractor, starring Chris Pine, is now in theaters and available on digital and on demand. When a discharged elite special forces sergeant by Chris Pine is desperate to provide for his family, he contracts with a private military force and unravels a deep conspiracy, sending him on the run for his life. Buy or rent The Contractor and watch it today. Rated R from partners at Paramount Pictures. If you would like to win a free digital code of The Contractor, just type in hashtag the truth to win your free digital code, and we'll get that sent right off to you. Own the all-new Scream movie on 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray, starring Neve Campbell, David Arquette, and Courtney Cox. Scream is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Own it today and get killer bonus content, including interviews with the cast, deleted scenes, and much more. Directed by Matt Bettinelli, Open, and Tyler Gillette. Rated R from Paramount Pictures. How can you get your free code, or better yet, how can you get your free physical Blu-ray copy of Scream? Well, just type in "Hello, Sydney" for the next time in this show, you can type in "Hello Sydney" for the show. You don't have to say it that way. Just type in "Hello Sydney" during the show, and you can get your free Blu-ray copy sent out to you. Thank you to our partners at Paramount Pictures. And last and finally, you can bring home Jackass Forever today on digital. Johnny Knoxville and the gang are back with new friends and celebrity guest stars for the most hilarious, outrageous pranks and dangerous stunts ever. Grab your friends and get ready to laugh until it hurts. Don't miss a moment of the action and keep the good times rolling with bonus, never-before-seen stunts, including when you buy on digital, rated R from our partners at Paramount Pictures. How can you get your free digital code here from us? Free on the house? We'll type in the hashtag WeMan to win your free digital code. And thank you once again from our partners at Paramount Pictures for Jackass Forever, The Contractor, and the physical copy of Scream on 4K and Blu-ray. Thank you once again. So, and thank you to our guest, Tyler Lutz. Dope person. You need to check him out. Give him a follow on IG. Show some support down there in Texas. If you love Power Rangers, he's your guy to go to. If you love martial arts, guess what? He's your guy to go to. If you're in Texas and you have kids that's in school, guess what? He's starting a martial arts elective class. He's your guy to go to. So, check him out. And for being our guest, you get access to all three of these movies. I'll get you all that information out after the show. But thank you, Tyler, for coming on, man. I really appreciate it, man. You are a dope individual. I love your message. I love what you're doing with it. And thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you guys for having me. It was an honor. Love you guys. Y'all are doing some great things out here.
I appreciate it. Thanks. You can catch us everywhere on Blurred's Eye View, all one word. There it is on IG. You can check us out. And while you're there, go to the link tree because that's in the bottom as well. It takes you to all our little social platforms. And if you listen to us on any kind of podcast platform, you can listen to us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, you name it. We're there. We got big moves coming in the way. You can also follow me on my personal IG page, Chris.Fury1, and TikTok, Chris Fury 1, where I do motivational Mondays, and I also will be doing comic book and comic character breakdowns throughout the week. So stay tuned for that. And as we always do, as we always end every show, man, I want to thank our guest once again. I can't thank him enough because it's just really, his message is just really dope. It's dope.
Can we do one thing before we sign off, Chris?
Please.
Yeah, Miss Magliano, man, forget you. But teachers rock.
It would be an honor if all three of us could hit a morph together. It's morphin' time.
Okay. Hey, I'm with it.
Are you good with that, DC?
He said he got to get the stretch out. All right.
All right.
You know you're ready.
On the count of three, here we go.
All
1, 2, 3. It's morphin' time.
Morphin' time.
Yeah, it's morphin' time, baby. Black Ranger.
I appreciate it, Tyler, man. It was so dope, man.
Guys.
It's been a while. He said it's been a while.
Oh, man. The morpher.
Until next time, where we talk to other blurs and nerds about the topics that only we can. Remember to educate yourself and others, entertain yourself and others, and most of all, encourage yourself and others. And tune in this Thursday as I'm doing a 2-episode breakdown on Moon Knight, Disney Plus's new Moon Knight series. So tune in for that. So until then, 8:30 Thursday. What you got?
1 second. No, seriously, on a good note, shout out to the teachers. You guys do not, one, get paid enough sometimes. Two, don't get the respect you guys deserve or the recognition. I know I joked about, and I made that teacher up. There was never nagging. I know it's just something. Sorry, I sold it though, didn't I? I
almost did a spit take.
Sorry, I sold it very well. No, she's in my head a motivational tool that I use sometimes because I need a chip on my shoulder. But no, shout out to teachers everywhere. The things that you guys have to deal with sometimes, and resources you guys don't always have to get the job done. I commend you guys, especially the good ones who actually care about their students, want to see their students, go to the next level. And I don't mean just sports. I mean just have the knowledge and the confidence. And sometimes your confidence is built into people don't realize that because you're not getting it at home sometimes. You go to school and you gain confidence, you gain that knowledge. So I want to shout out teachers. They're amazing.
Hit him with the applause.
Being a teacher.
There you go.
The brand new applause brought to you by
Yes, that's true. We're moving up in the world. Tyler, Lutz, thank you once again for coming on. Until next time, everybody, we are out of here.